Melbourne's off-season has been quite the wild ride as they have seen a load of their players go and a bunch of new ones come in. So their best 23, 2026 is going to look a lot different to last year. So with that being said, let's get started with their backline. Of course, there's a load of different players here and there. And the first one I want to point out is Harrison Petty at fullback, because I know you feel very strongly about Harrison Petty.
To say the least.
To say the very least.
If I don't see Harrison Petty in the forward line, I will be able to watch more than 3 Melbourne games this year.
But he's their best forward. I love
He
Harrison
kicked
Petty.
6 goals against Richmond. Oh, la-di-da, Simon. No one cares. He's a defender. He was always a defender. He will always forever be a defender. Joined by Jake Lever as well.
Yes.
I don't think he will be in as much trouble as Stephen May for the future. I also
definitely
think
not.
He is more of a short-term and long-term fix. Well, probably more medium-term, short and medium-term. I think they're joined by Daniel Turner as well. I quite like him.
Gotta love Disco.
He's turned into a very, very reliable sort of third tall.
Still a bit
there.
inexperienced, though, so I'm keen to see what heights he could potentially reach.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it, I'll go Xavier Taylor as well, then the top-end draft pick.
Yeah.
Those 3 of those 4, you can see for the next 5 years will be bankables in this team.
Yeah.
And then you've just got to fill out one more, which is Jake Lever's spot. That's not bad. Like, when you're looking at it as a sort of total thing, you're not disappointed in that.
Considering I'd imagine they're looking for almost a total rebuild. It's weird. I could actually see this team being a middle-of-the-pack team if everything goes all right. But, like, I'm looking at a lot of their players and I'm thinking it's just nothing that puts them over the top. That's the problem.
Yeah.
This team very much could blow out like they did last year in the sense that they fall out of, their game plan, their game style. Who knows what it looks like, honestly. But I just don't think they have the personnel for it. And, look, CJ, I love CJ. But he's definitely not the player who's going to get you over the line in any stretch of the imagination. And Christian Salem is very formidable.
It's an opportunistic year for CJ. I think seeing how much ball he can get, how much he can actually be involved in the game, rather than just being an extra piece at Hawthorn. So I think for him, it's actually a really good opportunity. And then for Salem, we sort of know what we're getting from Christian Salem. There's nothing really there that we haven't seen before. So I think for them, all right. Like, there's no issues, totally. Interestingly, though, their wingers, Caleb Winter, which is expected, very much great runner, really good, gets involved both forward and defensively. Is chance he gets some midfield minutes, but I think given they got in Jack Steele, there's less of that opportunity as well.
Yeah.
And then obviously you go with the experience of Ed Langdon. I think that's a pretty even side in terms of age and experience, youth and vibrance.
And I'm just thinking along the sides of, like, if they're looking to increase the pace of their play, like everything has kind of looked towards with the Stephen King new reign within Melbourne, they want to be quick, they want to be fast, and they don't want to have to rely on, the skill and precision of building play up like some other more experienced teams will do. Windsor and Langdon feel like the best options I'm looking at here. Like in terms of wingers, it's about all I can think of at this very moment. Like, Cozzy obviously isn't going to be playing a wing.
Nope.
If you're looking for that fast play, Cade Chandler, I don't think has enough to keep up. Yeah,
it's very much those are the 2 spots.
Exactly right. I think they fit quite nicely there. But like you said, Jack Steele is in that midfield alongside Trent Rivers and Harvey Langford. I think everyone who has watched Harvey Langford knows how excited they are with Harvey Langford's future. A fantastic pick from last year at number 6. 2024's draft. 2024's draft. Nonetheless, really, really exciting for Langford to get this big of an opportunity in his second year. And, of course, Max Gawn is rounding out that ruck, but everyone knew that. Going to be really interesting to see how Max takes up the captaining role this year, because it's almost like he's having to overlook this rebuild. And there's nothing bad about overlooking a rebuild, especially when you've won a premiership. You're with them for the highs, but you're also with them for the lows. So Max Gawn is doing everything you'd expect a captain to do. I'm just interested to see what type of role he kind of takes up. Does he take up the absolute dominant ball user that he could be in the middle, now that he's kind of got, pieces, but not fantastic pieces around him, like Clary and Christian were at their best? I'm interested to see what Max's role looks like also within the Stephen King game plan. Because he's now going to have to keep up with an even quicker, pace of play. He was really good at keeping up with the pace of play they had.
Yeah.
An even quicker one, maybe a different story.
I think it'll be interesting to see, if there's any help behind him in terms of having a backup. Obviously, they got him Max Heath. But I think even more so in terms of, is he going to be a ruck that goes defensively or a ruck that tries to kick a goal occasionally? I think that'll be a really interesting thing for him and the balance there. Obviously, though, Trent Rivers is the big one in the midfield. A lot of halfback time over the last 6 years. That has been where he's been. There have been calls for him to get in the midfield. I have been strong on that in terms of look at Ed Richards, look at Jordan Dawson, look at so many players that have done that transition. He is absolutely there. He's got the size to be able to do it. He's got the pace. His ball use can be questionable, but I think it is time for him to do that. He is training there. They should unleash him.
If there's any time for it, it's now, especially being behind the guys that I'd mentioned before for so long. It's nice to see him get his opportunity, presumably.
Exactly. Forward line, obviously, though, was a big question. Got him Brody Myercheck. He should be joined by Jacob Van Rooyen. I think those two should be the two clear key forwards.
I don't know. I still think Petty's up there. He's kicked a few goals before.
I consider Matthew Jeffin over him, and he is not good in the VFL, let alone in the AFL. Jake Melksham as well.
When I saw the best 22 from others last year, like the right after trade deadline finished, and still saw Harrison Petty getting forward mentions, I was like, oh my God, it never ends.
It's
ends.
horror. That is, if I'm a Melbourne fan and I had to watch another season of Harrison Petty in the forward line, it would literally be torture. My eyes would have to be peeled open to keep it like that. It's crazy.
Oh, it was so good.
So they should be glad Jake Melksham is still in the forward line.
True.
Cozzy Pickett, we know what he's going to do. Cade Chandler actually had a really underrated year last year.
Is there a reason you've put Cozzy Pickett on the half forward instead of in the midfield? Because there's the likes of Harvey Langford getting the nod over him could be pretty big.
More so because we know what we're getting from Pickett in the midfield. We saw it last year. We can have 20 and 5. It's very easy for him to do that. Well, not very easy, but we've seen him do it multiple times. Yeah. I think in terms of knowing what else you've got, let's see what Trent Rivers has got. Let's see what Harvey Langford has got as a true inside midfielder. Because that way, when you can insert Cozzy in there, there's not as many questions. If you just insert him with Jack Steele and Jack Viney in there, what are you gaining from that?
Yeah.
Whereas
and that's completely fair.
Doing it that way, I think you learn a lot more.
That's completely fair. If you're looking to find a new identity, you've got to try and change things up. And even though Cozzy could probably be an outright pick for a midfielder for most people, why not give Harvey a go? Why not give Trent a go? They've more than earned it, absolutely, and you've got to try new things.
Yeah, and then Tom Sparrow rounds out the forward line.
Yeah, that's all right. Looking at the interchange bench. Starting off with Xavier Lindsay.
Yep.
And also, is it
Colton Tolstrup?
Colton Tolstrup.
Yes.
Tolstrup?
Colton Tolstrup.
There we go. Look at you go. Jack Viney is also found as one on the bench. Same with Bailey Fritsch.
Yes.
And Latrell Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
Latrell Pickett. I'll still... I get the pick with Latrell Pickett. I wonder whether he'll crack that team on a consistent basis, because I know he'll get chances. I absolutely know he'll get chances. He's a genuinely good player, but it's more just... Who would he take? Probably Tom Sparrow's spot, honestly. He'll round out some... This is a team where you're going to get opportunity, absolutely. So Latrell absolutely is going to find some games and potentially find himself a spot in the regular lineup. And I'm all for it, because I think the more that Latrell's enjoying himself, the more that Cozzy's enjoying himself too. And imagine having both of them fit and firing.
Lighting
it up with a game style that works perfectly in their favour.
Absolutely.
It's an identity that I think Melbourne can work off of, but obviously it's early goings, first years.
Yeah, and then for a couple of the others on the bench, Xavier Lindsay, I think it'll be really important for him to get some more game time at half-back rather than just on the wing. I think that could really improve his development. Tolstrup as well, we sort of saw it a little bit, there's been flashes, but again, just getting him in there I think is enough to just get him development.
Mm-hmm. No Jake Bowie.
Injuries.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes. No, I apologise.
If so, he comes in for Tolstrup.
Yeah, because I know Bowie, I really like Bowie despite the fact that often he is a little bit of a mismatch. Yeah. But he's really become a reliable defender. I just wish he wasn't injured. Let me know if I miss anything, but like Tom McDonald, nothing to worry about there really.
No.
No, I'm not seeing all that much in terms of... I mean, the thing is, we could see a few of these unknown names. I mean, Stephen May's the big one, really, but everyone's seeing that happening. It's not really a surprise to anybody at this rate, considering how much he was shopped around and how little people wanted him. Stephen May's stuck in a bit of no man's land at the moment, so it's unfortunate for the bloke. But, yeah, there's going to be a lot of different rotating names, which is, I think, the exciting thing for Melbourne this year. They won't... if everything goes all right health-wise, they won't have as many debutants as the likes of Essendon last year, but it'll be really good to have a deep list of players to kind of work out and see where they fit.
Yeah.
Really
100%.
exciting times, I think, in terms of the rebuild of Melbourne. You just don't want to stay in there for too long. But the good thing is, a lot of the players still very young. Very, very young. That's what they need it to be. So, with that being said, that is once again another Best 23 for 2026. Let me know, where do you think Melbourne's ceiling is for 2026? How high do you reckon they could go? But if you did enjoy it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.